Last year, I worked with a real estate company who had about 70 salespeople. In that training session, I got the 70 salespeople, my team and I, we got the 70 salespeople to get on the phone with real prospects, cold calls, and book at least 5 meetings each. We did this within a 1 hour 30 period, a 1 hour 30 minute period. For those who couldn't meet up within 1 hour 30 minutes period, maybe they booked only 2 meetings instead of five. We extended the time for them till they were all able to book at least 5 meetings each in that room. Now, in today's video, I'm going to show you the psychology you need to have to be able to cold call effectively. If you just observe my team and I working with a company, with their sales team. Now, we've done this across several countries, including Nigeria, Ghana, USA, UAE, Rwanda. And if you watch us do this for a sales team, you would observe that if you go and apply everything you've done in another training session, you won't get the same results. Why? Because there's a psychology behind it. You see, the psychology of selling, the psychology of cold calling is the engine that drives things. If you see a beautiful car and all of a sudden you feel like, wow, this car is beautiful, maybe Mercedes-Benz, and you're like, wow, I currently have this other car, this other brand, let me change the body to look like this exact Mercedes-Benz. But you don't do anything about the engine. You will notice that when it's time for the car to move, there will be an issue. So you can look like a salesperson who can cold call. Your team may look like people who can cold call. But if they don't have the engine and the psychology I'm showing you right now, the cold calling won't work. So ladies and gentlemen, first thing we need to understand is this, when we look at the psychology of cold calling, is this. Will everybody buy from a cold call? No. Can you get people to buy from a cold call? Yes. When we think about selling, we're thinking about what are all the options available. See, when we talk about prospecting, selling, nobody knows where the money really is. If you speak to someone who closed a sale yesterday and he just met that prospect at some point in his life, and after that meeting, maybe after some follow-up and some conversation, the deal closed. So maybe it was even closed same day. Ask them, did you know that was the prospect that was going to buy from you that morning? Nobody knows. Except, of course, somebody you already know that has the financial capacity and you feel like, oh, this is a relative, I can get him to buy from you, or this is a friend. Or maybe you are upselling or cross-selling to an existing client, or somebody who has done business with you before. You are referring to someone, it's a referral. Of course, you can possibly be hopeful and say, wow, I'm going to get a sale from here. But if you don't know anybody where you're going to get a sale from, and you plan to reach out to prospects to get new sales, you don't know where the money will come from. Therefore, you want to explore all the options. And part of exploring, and this is psychology I'm showing you now, part of exploring all the options is using every means possible, whether it's social media, face-to-face meetings, cold calls. Cold calls. Because cold calls are just one of the options to be able to find opportunities. It's not the only option. If you explore cold calls, you will increase your chances of being able to find the prospects who can buy from you. Now, people say things like, in this digital world, social media world, do cold calls still work? Yes, yes, yes. They still work. In fact, they work so much that I'm amazed. When we go for MPRs in some of our clients' offices, when we do retainers, where clients call us to work with us to help them establish structures in their sales teams, to get their sales teams to perform. During our monthly performance reviews, when I'm reviewing the performance of the sales people we've worked with or trained, I ask questions like, okay, this deal you just closed, where did you get this prospect from? I will never forget this one. It was a real estate company. Hey, my God, amazing. Top selling salesperson she was presenting. And I asked her, where did you get this prospect from? She says, cold calls. Where did you get this person from? She says, cold calls. Most of the people she talked about, she said they got them from cold calls. A lady who had been working in that company for a few months and has been struggling to sell. We were pushing them and trying to encourage them to cold call. They will say things like, it's not working. I'm making calls, but they are saying that I'm hearing the sounds of malams who are on the phone and they don't look like people that can buy our properties. It's just not working. They will say all manner of things. Do you know that when they kept insisting that their team needs to get them to cold call, it got to a point they started closing big deals. And I asked her, I said, where did you get this prospect from? She says, cold calls. Cold calls. So cold calls work. So Psychology, understand that it is just one of the opportunities. It's not the only opportunity. And not everybody will buy from you. Some people, some prospects will never buy because they don't even pick strange numbers. But will you get some who would buy? Yes. Second thing is understand that the value, the law of averages. Success is a numbers game. The more you engage people, the more you speak to people over the phone, the better you become at persuading. The more you speak to people over the phone, the better you will increase your chances of finding the people who will be willing and able to buy from you. Understand that who is the kind of person that will probably buy from you from a cold call. Number one, somebody who doesn't mind speaking to strangers and doing business with strangers. They can trust easily. Number two, someone who possibly got a windfall and was wondering, what do I do with this money right now? I need to know where to put this money. And your call came in and the person is wondering, could this be an opportunity? Number three, somebody who just liked you when you started speaking with the person because people buy into you before they buy what you have to offer. And just thought, with the way you've spoken to me, I think it's worth it. For example, I was speaking to, during one of our sessions, the MD of a company said he was in a meeting with one of his staff and a call came in. When the call came in, he doesn't normally pick strange numbers, but he just picked. And when he got on the phone, the way the lady approached him and engaged him, he just listened to her. And when he was done, he realized that, he didn't have a need for what she was offering. If she had a need, he said he would have definitely have bought from her because of the way she spoke to him. Another thing could be somebody who was in a market for a need at that point in time. I was looking for this particular thing. I was really searching for this thing. All of a sudden, the call came in to address the issue. If you don't make enough cold calls, you will not stumble on these people. Now, depending on what you sell, the size of you must make sure that whatever deal that's closed is sizable enough to make the cold call efforts worth it. And this takes me to the third part of psychology. When you make cold calls, the calls are working on you, not on the prospects. Because it's just one sale you're trying to close. Or maybe, at least when you meet the prospect, it may be one opportunity from that prospect. But my point is that you probably would have called a lot of people before you met that prospect. So the call works on you before it works on the prospects. How does it work on you, ladies and gentlemen? One of the fastest ways to train people to become great at selling is to take them through cold calling. Because the way you handle a lot of the concepts in direct selling, you will have to first of all demonstrate it via cold calling, or demonstrate them, because there are many concepts via cold calling. And if you can do it via cold calling, you probably can do it in real life. For example, when you're trying to sell to someone physically, you're trying to get them to pay you money. When you're trying to get somebody on the phone, you're trying to get them to give you their time. Which is higher, money or time? Some people say time, but in this context, the money is tangible, the time is invisible. Money looks like it's difficult to get from people, but time doesn't look like it's so hard to get from people. If I can't get you to give me your time to listen to me, I'm most likely not able to get you to give me your money. So you see, there's a parallel truth behind cold calling and selling physically. If I can't handle your objections behind the reason why you should give me an appointment, you'll be able to handle the objections behind the reason why you should give me the sale. He that is faithful in little, appointment, time, is faithful in much, money, sale. So you see the parallel truth behind cold calling. My final point, when you are cold calling, your plan is not to sell over the phone. If you try to sell over the phone, there is no need for the conversation to continue. Now, let me put this in context here. When we talk about selling over the phone, please understand, can the prospects buy over the phone? If the prospect can't buy over the phone, there is no need to sell over the phone. Rather, the focus of the cold call is to sell the appointment and get the appointments. All right, thank you for watching today's video. If you haven't watched the next video, if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe here as well. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and do have a great week. Talk to you soon.